Kevin Minnick. I don't even know your allegiance. Ignorantly, I do not know if you're an Eagles fan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you this morning, Pete?
I am well, thank you. And, of course, it's Eagles-Cowboys, and that's sort of the theme of my Saturday Twitter question. But where do your NFL allegiances lie, Mr. Kevin Minnick?
To be honest with you, I guess I'm an Eagles fan, but I've never really – I'm not like – I don't die for Sunday afternoons like a lot of people do. So if it's on, it's on. You know, if it's not, it's you know, let's just put it this way. I see enough football during the fall and into the winter that, you know, I don't need to see any more. So I'd say, you know, I guess I'm an Eagles fan, but I'm not as fanatical about it as I guess a lot of people are.
I will take passive Eagles fan over any other team fan in this area. You know, you live in South Jersey. We're down here, you know, closer to the beach, but we're still all but the hodgepodge of fans in this day and age, like, let's start with that. You know, it used to be fans became fans, like pretty core fan bases built, you know, and then you'll find people say in Cape May that, well, you know, CBS always played the Cowboys, and sometimes the Eagles games were on and sometimes they were blacked out. So we watched the Cowboys, or, you know, it always is baffling to me how a fan base builds for teams that aren't in that core area. Does my question make sense there, if it is even a question or a statement?
I understand what you're saying. I get it. And, you know, I guess going back to when I was a kid, I will tell you this. I did have an Oakland Raiders jacket back in the day when I think the popular thing was to go to Sears and you got some NFL stuff at Sears. So I do remember owning a silver and black Raiders jacket when I was probably like 8 or 9 years old. But you know, that didn't last all that long. But like I said, you know, I'm not a, you know, I understand with the fans people think you kind of have to be a fan of the area that you live in and stuff. But and usually I guess that's the case a lot of the times. But, you know, times have changed, and you know, there's much more access to being able to watch any team you pretty much want to watch. So that's how I guess things have kind of maybe thinned out a little bit.
Boy, we could do the whole segment over like Sears and Sam Goody and wall-to-wall sound. We could do a whole segment on things that aren't there anymore, right? The mall,
yeah,
mall with people in it.
Yeah, if you're old enough, you know, these kids nowadays would have no idea what Radio Shack was or things like that. So,
yep,
it's been a long time since that kind of stuff.
All right, well, let's steer into your wheelhouse here, because bingo, bango, bongo, we are right into basketball season. Such a nice break for you. And, of course, as Mike McGarry was telling us in the first hour of the show, a lot of people think, oh, it's the Christmas break, the kids are off from school. Yeah, Christmas break, a.k.a. basketball tournament time, as everybody has holiday tournaments, and you're busier than ever if you're a sports writer. And what a winner you got to see last night. I mean, Camden Catholic 49, Lenape 47. You put out a tweet that said Lucas Dunn was having a rough night shooting the basketball. He made the only one that counted.
Yeah, you know, it was a real good game. Lenape came out in the opening 4 minutes and didn't miss a shot, and was really looking really good. And then first 4 minutes of the second quarter was Camden Catholic's turn, and you know, it was a close game all the way through you know, the second half, and kind of went back and forth in the final minute, and then you know, we're heading to overtime, and then in that overtime period, you know, Derek Simpson, a real nice, talented sophomore guard for Lenape, put them ahead, but Camden Catholic came down when under 10 seconds left, and you know, they drove the ball into the paint and kicked it out, and Lucas Dunn was wide open in the corner and hit a three, and you know, to win the game for them with 2 seconds left. And he had a pretty rough night shooting the ball up until that point, but you know, like they said, shooters shoot, and we're going to keep shooting, and he hit nothing but net on that shot, and you know, everyone he missed before that really didn't matter anymore.
Am I connecting the dots correctly in saying that at 3601 South Broad Street in South Philadelphia, Villanova alum Jalen Brunson was getting booed because he now plays for the Mavericks, and there's a new head coach patrolling the sidelines? Is that gentleman's name Rick Brunson? Yeah,
Rick Brunson is taking over at Camden, expectations over there. Year after year, Camden lives and breathes basketball and the boys basketball team. And, this year, I think the expectations are the highest that they've been in probably 20 years. They had a stretch of time where they went to 5 straight state championship games, but came up empty every time. But, this team right now, it's got a real nice senior leader in Lance Ware, who's heading to Kentucky. It's got a couple of really talented juniors in Taquan Woodley and Jerome Brewer. And then now you throw into the mix, who's really been the focus of this attention is DJ Wagner. And, for people that don't know and know the history of Camden basketball, DJ is the son of DeJuan Wagner, who is the state's all-time leading scorer and played 1 year at Memphis and went to the NBA, but some injuries had really derailed his career professionally. And then DJ's grandfather is Milt Wagner, who, won a state championship at Camden and also a national championship at Louisville and then NBA championship with the Lakers. So, the bloodlines are there. The hype for this kid has been absolutely off the charts, and deservedly so. I mean, he's still only 14 years old, but you can see that, he's really going to develop into something special. And, I think people need to give him some time, and he needs to get acclimated to high school basketball and playing with other guys and sharing the ball and things of those lines. But, I think Camden basketball games are going to be games, at least this year, and probably moving forward for the next three years after that, where, the gyms are going to be packed and the people are going to want to see this team because they want to see DJ Wagner. And, I think that might be a lot of, that might be a lot of pressure on a 14-year-old kid right now. But I think the Camden's they're trying to do some things internally to kind of, keep all that pressure and keep all that excitement and fan excitement to a minimum as much as they can. But, I think that's going to be hard to do. But from what I saw last night, they are going to be an extremely difficult team to beat.
Kevin, when you mention 14 years old, I think about, you remember Saeed Nelson started as a true freshman for Paul Rodeo and St. Augustine, and I remember seeing him at 14, both, not only because of his size, but his age, and thinking like, this is a boy amongst men, but yet he played with poise. Is that what you're seeing out of this DJ Wagner?
Yeah, he's a special case. I mean, Saeed doesn't come with the pedigree that DJ comes with, and all the hype that surrounds Camden basketball. Camden basketball, if you were to go and watch a game, is kind of unique compared to a lot of other places in South Jersey. There are places in the north that are fanatical about their teams as they are in Camden, but down here you don't get that enthusiasm, the amount of people that come out from the community that want to see this team win. And believe me, when there were shots missed last night, and it's the first game of the season, you heard about it. But this is a team that I think is going to be pretty good. I think this team can be very, very special, and as long as DJ doesn't try to do too much, I think they're going to be in real good shape. Right now he doesn't have to be the leader of this basketball team. He doesn't have to be the guy to take the big shot all the time. But he's a tremendous talent. You could tell by the way he got to the basket. He's got 3-point range. He actually scored his first 2 points last night before the game really even started, because Simon Gratz didn't have a kid's name in the book when the ref checked the book. So 2 technical foul shots, he takes them. He made both of them, so he scored his first 2 points from the foul line.
Fun.
Before a second even came off the clock. So I think there's his bloodlines are great. To say he's going to be better than his grandfather or his father right now is it's not something I would want to get into a conversation about. I think he needs time to mature, and we'll see what happens when he's a senior. But for right now, he's a very nice player, and I think the kind of player that will definitely help them as they try to make a run to the state championship.
Yeah, let's not Dick Vitale him and call Mark Macon the next Oscar Robertson when he's only a freshman, for example. And speaking of Temple Owls, Vic Karstafen there last night, too. I always say that Temple would have made the Final Four that year if Nick Van Exel didn't roll up on Vic Karstafen's leg. Kevin, we've spent so much talking about Sears and NFL teams that our segment went faster than it ever seems to have ever gone before. I apologize about that, but I do want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. I do want to tell you that for the next 2 weeks, Ryan Rothstein and Hunter Brody will be on, so I'll let them make the arrangements for having you on when I am on my Flyers West Coast trip. I'm going on a little road trip with the Orange and Black, so I apologize that we ran up against the end so fast, but boy, I could do this every day, buddy. I might have to call you off the air. We'll get into which basketball players were good.
Anytime. You guys have a great holiday season as well.
All right, Kevin. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks again.
Kevin Minnick with us, NJ Advanced Media at K Minnick Sports, KMINNICK.